Hello again, and welcome to Googling to the Max Part 3, Special Databases and Services. The slide design for Googling to the Max was originally provided by Joe Barker and John Coopersmith of the University of California at Berkeley. These slides are used with their permission. The goals and objectives for this section of the course are to learn how to use Google to search for images, news, videos, maps, and local information, learn to use Google's special book and scholarly publication databases, and finally to explore Google's directory component, which allows you to do a, quote, drill down search through categories to find websites and information on a variety of topics. Google Image Search. To search for images, first click on the link on the Google homepage. Your screen will look something like the one on this slide. Then enter your search terms and hit the Enter key or click on the Search Images button. Here are some partial results for a Google search for popcorn. There is a mixture of file types, but JPEG and GIF files predominate. These are two common file types for images on the internet. You don't have to know the difference between the files unless you want to post your own images online, but just for your information, JPEG is the format most used for storing and transmitting photographs on the World Wide Web, while GIF files are often used for clip art style images, as seen in the examples on the screen. The reason is that there's a difference is that the two formats compress files and display colors differently. Google allows you to choose the size of your image. The default is to display images of all sizes, but you can also use the drop-down box on the left side of the screen to change the image size. You can also search for images by color, by face, by clip art or photo exclusively. I'm now going to ask you to only display the large images, and you can go to the next slide to see the results. Notice that the search results have changed. Sorting images this way can be very helpful for people who are looking for a large image to include in a report or project. Keep in mind, however, that because of copyright concerns, patrons and librarians can't always use just any image that they find online. We'll go into more advanced search options in Part 4 of this of Googling to the Max, but I did want to point out Google Advanced Image Search here. Here you can see towards the bottom of the advanced search something called usage rights, and here you can filter images in your search by license, images that can be used, that can be reproduced, and even some images that can be reproduced commercially. This is something that you may want to point out to your patrons so that they aren't in violation of copyright when they use an image for some report or project or presentation, and especially if they're using it commercially. Alright, Google Video Search. To get to Google Video Search, click on the word video above the search box on the Google homepage. You will then get a screen that looks something like the one on this slide. Google offers a summary of the purpose of their video project as well as instructions for using the site, which you can see on the next slide. So here it just explains that Google Video Index is the most comprehensive video index on the web. Recently, a few years ago, they bought YouTube, and so they have a very large video archive. And they contain millions of videos indexed and available for viewing. Using Google Video, you can search for and watch an ever-growing collection of TV shows, movie clips, music videos, documentaries, personal productions, and more all over the web. Google News and News Search. To access Google News, first click on the links on the Google homepage. Your screen will look something like the one on this slide. Notice that there is a lot of content here. At the head of the page, you can choose to search within the Google News site or search the web. The news is divided into headings, with top stories at the top of the page. Top of the page. Notice the drop-down box that allows you to choose which top stories you want. Try changing it from US to another country to see how this changes your results. Additional default headings include World, US. Note that this gives different results from top news stories/US, science and technology, sports, entertainment, health, and more top stories. In September 2006, Google launched a new search feature, the Google News Archive Search. According to a September 2006 article on Search Engine Watch, Google has partnered with news organizations including Time, The Wall Street Journal, The New York Times, The Guardian, The Washington Post, and aggregators including Factiva, LexisNexis, Thomson Gale, and HighBeam Research to index all the full text content going back 200 years. Both free and fee-based content is included in the results. Here I did a sample search, News Search Archive, using the words Watergate and Nixon. You can see some of the results on the screen. Note that some articles are free. In this case, you can see that all the articles listed are free, but some articles will have a cost, something, for instance, that goes to the Wall Street Journal or something like that. Of course, in libraries, we have access to many of these sources through our subscription databases. If you or a patron sees an article in Google Archive Search that you want to view, check to see if that article is available for free in one of your library databases. Another option would be to use the interlibrary loan system to obtain that article from another library. You have the option to narrow your results by date. You can also narrow your results by publication. Here you can see with Watergate and Nixon, obviously a huge number of results shown in this timeline. You can also click on a region of the timeline to find more articles within a specific frame. Alright, now we're going to talk about Google Maps Search. To access Google Maps, first click on the map link on the Google homepage. Your screen will look something like the one on this slide. Try the sample searches that Google provides, and then try some of your own. Google has designed their map searches to work just like their internet searches. Simply enter the address into the Google search box. There is no need to fill out separate boxes for street address, city, state, and zip code. Go to the next two slides to see sample Google Maps searches. Here I use the Enoch Pratt Free Library State Library Resource Center where I work. I entered in 400 Cathedral Street, Baltimore, Maryland. If it was a more specific search or a more rural area, I might have included for more information, but in this case I could also just type in Enoch Pratt Free Library State Library Resource Center, and I would have likely gotten the same result. Google is pretty smart in that way, just like its regular search engine, in trying to figure out what exactly it is that you're searching for. Notice that when you place your cursor over the map area, it becomes a little hand. This means that you can click and hold the left mouse button while moving the map around the screen to see areas outside of your original view. The map scrolls easily. You don't have to wait for sections to load before viewing them. The controls on the upper left part of the map allow you to zoom in and out. On the next screen, I'm going to demonstrate the satellite view of this area. You can get this view by clicking on the satellite button found in the upper right portion of the map. Notice that in the address bubble, there are links to get directions to here and from here. I'll be talking about these directions in a few minutes. You now have a satellite view of the mapped area. Google satellite imagery might be fun to use, but it may not always be accurate and up to date. In this case, you can probably count on it being fairly reliable, but this imagery is not live and it's updated every few years or so, so if there's a construction project or some kind of change in the landscape, you won't necessarily see that change updated immediately on the Google Map satellite view. Now, the Google Maps used to have a hybrid view, which is essentially what you see here, which combined a satellite view and the map view. But they've since gone to just a satellite view that includes the map overlaid with the streets, landmarks, and that sort of thing. Here with Thai restaurant, you can see where it says directions. Another useful feature that I should point out too is that Google Maps, Google Directions used to only have directions essentially for people who are driving in cars. Now they have directions for people who are using mass transit, walking, or riding their bikes. So this can be, depending on how you or a patron is traveling, this can be a very useful feature for anyone.